Today we're going to be looking at the Poco X3 NFC. So this was launched in the Philippines recently, just in September, and this phone is made by Xiaomi, but is part of their Poco branding. So let's open up the package and see what's inside. As you can see, this is a brand new unit. The plastic is still on, so we're gonna cut and remove that and then take a look at the device. Now the specs on this device are quite high-end, while the pricing is just a little over 10,000 pesos. So it will be interesting to see how it performs. I would expect that it performs pretty well. In terms of the specs, as mentioned, it's got 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage, which is pretty ample for a phone at that price. The color is shadow gray, so we'll look at that a bit more as we open up the box. Okay, we have the box open. So interesting, the colors are black and yellow, or mustard yellow, which reminds me a little bit of Realme, which has gray and the same kind of yellow. So there's a kit here which has some stuff. This looks like the phone. We'll come to the phone in a bit. Quite a large device. What else do we have in terms of kit here? So there's, this looks just like an insert there to keep everything in place. There is a charger. This one looks quite beefy. As you can see, it has the Mi branding on it. It is a Xiaomi charger after all. The charging cable, which is interestingly a USB Type-C. So that's a nice inclusion. Okay, so let's look at the kit here. Documentation, fairly thick book in fact. So what is this? So this is the user guide, and this one is a warranty card. Looks like a clear case. It's a straightforward clear case. Has a big opening for the camera, so it's probably going to be a round camera module. Okay, let's look at the device. So the specs are interesting. It's a Qualcomm Snapdragon 732G. So this is an octa-core processor, and it's got clocked at 2.3 gigahertz. The screen is a 6.67 inch Full HD screen running at 120 Hz. So it's not your standard 60 Hz screen, it's a 120 Hz screen, so it's fast refresh, so it's going to be pretty smooth. And 64 megapixel AI quad camera, so it's got a nice quad camera setup, and the main sensor is 64, so that's pretty impressive. And the front camera, it's up here, is a 20 megapixel camera. That's nice. And as for the battery, it's a 5160 milliamp battery with 33 watt fast charge. So this guy is a fast charge. It's nice that they included those specs on the front of the phone, right? Or rather on the front of this cover. It gives you a quick, at a glance, it gives you a quick idea of what the specs of the phone are. So let's put that away. Packaging is nice, cannot fault them. It does feel packed well, like a good device, maybe even almost flagship category. The phone is solid, it's got a lot of weight. Probably the large battery could be a factor. As for the camera module on the back, you can see that it has this large module. It seems to have 5 individual pieces in it. One of that is a flash, the remaining 4 are cameras. My guess is the center one is the 64 megapixel sensor. It has the Poco branding here. Hopefully you can see that with the light. It has a slight pattern here and quadrants and lines, quite nice. The screen is large. As for buttons, this looks like the SIM tray, and there's a power button here and the volume rocker. So this is a little indented, so it goes in a little bit, and this is protruding, so it comes out. As for the bottom, you have down-firing speaker, USB Type-C, and a headphone jack. This looks like a nice phone, very classy. So we're gonna fire it up, use it for some time, and look out for our full review on newsbytes.ph, and we'll tell you more about this phone. In terms of first impressions, I'm impressed. Let's see how it fares.